that customer all those years? What's it worth? So it's just a way of thinking about it differently. It's not a $25 issue. It's a $350,000 issue. And that makes all the difference. So when you look at a customer who's having a problem or an issue, and you look at it in the big sense, that helps you to put it in perspective in terms of what's the right thing to do. It's not about that immediate situation. It's about that long term. Plus all the people you're going to tell. Boy, I had a big problem with Company X. How many times have you said this? I was on technical assistance with HP for hours. Welcome to my world. Okay? And how do you help others flourish? If you're in a software business, you're helping people flourish because they are being able to do something as a result of your service that they couldn't do otherwise. If you're an endocrinologist, it's the same kind of thing. You're helping people to live a better life with cards. It all works together because you're talking about relationships and you're helping people to build those bridges and strengthen those relationships. And so you ask yourself, how in my business do I help other people flourish? As opposed to how do I sell X to person Y? Okay, I call this becoming an entrepreneurial artisan. You know, in the business world, in the world of donations and philanthropy, we make a distinction between somebody who is a donor, you know, somebody who gives the $10, $25 contribution, you send in your check, and a philanthropist who really gives substantial amount of money because they believe in what they're doing. And when I say substantial, I mean substantial to the individual. $25 could be really important to a college student, and where maybe to us it's not that much. Okay? Warren Buffett can give $100,000, and for us it might be a huge, huge, huge donation. But for him, it's petty cash. Okay? A partisan is my word for making the distinction between a volunteer and somebody who really gives from their heart, who really embraces it and does it not because it's the thing to do or not just to go and give, a couple days a year, but as someone who makes it a part of their life. So the question is how does this translate into business? So artisans have a sincere commitment to the success of others in their community. They work for a greater good as an expression of their heart in their work and in their personal lives. So it could be volunteering, but it could be how you conduct your business and how you help others flourish. And they embrace these 8 dynamics, which I'm going to jump into right now. Before I do that, any questions, thoughts, concerns? Okay, we have a 150-question detailed quiz at the end here. So some of you are taking notes and some of you aren't. Okay. The first one is living your values. The word living here is the most important part. Your values are not what you say they are. Well, they might be. If you listen to our politicians, they espouse a certain set of values. We were talking earlier today about how they actually live their lives. The values aren't the ones they necessarily espouse. The values are the ones that are reflected in our behavior. I might say that I'm honest. But if I cut honesty corners, those little things that we do, that we're honest 95%, but somehow we cut a corner. We leave a false impression. So the values are collectively what we do, how we actually behave. To the degree that how we behave reflects what we believe in, then we're being true to ourselves. So when you look at your business and you ask yourself, what are your values in your business as well as in your personal life? The question is how you act and conduct your business reflect those values in the true sense. So, values are about becoming rooted, being true to yourself, and applying a guiding framework to decisions and actions. And so that your customers and other people can see that. or your patients. So on our website, this is free. We have a little values identification exercise. We don't have Wi-Fi here, so I'm just going to give you an idea of how it works. What happens is people see a series of cards. And on those cards is a value. And there's a definition of those values. And they have to then decide which are their top values. There's about 30 of these cards. And they go through them, and they have to decide, well, what's important? Is integrity more important than transparency? Is compassion more important than something else? And they go through a process where they actually sort through and say, what are my top values? And that's a way in which you can actually begin to live those values, because often we think we know what our values are, but we haven't explicitly identified them. So this is an opportunity to do just that.